Hiya, and welcome to my new cards for the month. So I felt inspired to actually read cards for the month ahead, as it appears that often the cards carry on repeating themselves for a few weeks, and often that's the case because it's applying to the whole month. So I thought I would do cards for the month. So this is my first video on monthly card reading, and it is Friday, the 1st of October, 2021. And these are your cards for October. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Deborah Jane Sutton. If you want to find out more about me and my work, please check out my website, which is in a link below, or also from this YouTube channel. You can find out a lot of free content. I have my lessons in awakening here. I also have a section on my services and self-healing techniques. There's also a section on interviews and chats and things like that. If you prefer to read blogs, I have on my website, check out my blog page, lots of free content. I have lots of blogs, they're like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, maybe 4-minute reads. So there's lots and lots of content there, videos and blogs, and information for you on self-healing, energy healing, raising your vibration and raising your level of consciousness, and lots of other things as well. So please feel free to have a good browse around at all the free content that I offer. So, no further ado, let's see what the cards want to say to us this month. Okay. So, what's going on? Do we have any guidance for October? Anything we need to know? The heads up? Thank you. It took their time coming out then. Is there anything else? Okay, now you want to speak, huh? Now you want to speak. I got it. Great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5. All face down at the moment. That's the way I prefer to work, which is really strange, but never mind. Okay. Nope, it seems like that is it. Sorry, I just want to double check. No, that's it. Let's see then. I'm going to turn them over and see what comes as I look at them. Okay, what a great one to start with. We've got death. Now, we know, right, the death card, it actually has the greatest capacity for transformation. It's the greatest capacity for transformation. It's so important that we understand that. It's so important that we understand that everything is energy, okay? And for new energy to come in, old energy has to go. I talk a lot about this, like with my, look at the last cards for the week with my bucket of dirty water, you know, when light comes in, dirt goes out. It's the same with all energy. When higher frequency comes in, lower frequency energy has to go. And as everything is energy, that can mean, it can mean people. There are a lot of deaths going on. We are losing people, we are losing loved ones. If it helps with the grieving at all, I really suggest that you start reading some Dolores Cannon, or some of her work, or some of any of the great spiritual teachers and their work, because when you understand that death is just an illusion, and that souls have actually agreed on so much, there is so much that as a soul, you will have agreed with other souls in your life to live out certain experiences. And it's always for the purpose of evolving, always. Even the grief, because we grow through grief. We grow through grief. This is a given. I often quote Bernie Siegel in his book, Love, Medicine and Miracles, because he said, if you have an emotional trauma, you're going to grow. Whether you grow a tumor or whether you grow spiritually, the choice is yours. It's all to do with emotions and trapped emotions. It comes back to emotions and trapped emotions again, which is why I'm such a big fan of the emotion code. But it is about realizing that when you can see it from a higher perspective, you can then look at these grieving moments and see them as opportunities to grow. Because if you stay in your comfort zone, you're not going to grow, are you? If everything stays cushy. Plus the fact, right, on a spiritual level, on a soul level, we came here to have a human experience. We came here to have a human experience. So although we're evolving and although we're learning more about our spirituality and we're learning more about creating heaven on earth, we did come here fundamentally to have a human experience. And that means warts and all. That means experiencing everything. And that's a blessing. That's a blessing when you can see it from that level of consciousness. Now, there's two kinds of detaching. I think detaching is quite a positive word because what I'm thinking is that with emotions, right, we can suppress them so that we don't feel them because they're uncomfortable, we don't like them. Now, that's when they cause us problems. That's when they cause us issues. That's when they get trapped in the body, like Sigmund Freud said, unexpressed emotions, they never die, they just get buried and they will come back in uglier ways, which is again why I love the emotion code, because so pushing them down, all you're doing is stopping them from moving, all you're doing is stopping them from processing, because we came here to have a human experience, and that human experience is based on feeling our emotions. We came here to feel. We came here to have a feeling experience. So what happens is when we start feeling these negative, intense emotions, we don't like them. And so we build this wall around our heart, which is why, I spend so much time, doing the heart wall healings, so that we don't feel. That's not the answer, because all you're doing then is you're blocking the process. Everything wants to move in cycles, including emotions. They're energy, they want to move in cycles. So the grief comes in and it wants to be expressed, and you need to express it in order to release it, in order for it to continue, in order to process it. If you just refuse to feel it, you go onto automatic pilot or you go numb, which is often the case, and you don't actually express it because of whatever cultural reasons, or because you think you shouldn't do it, it's not socially acceptable, or it's a sign of weakness, or whatever ridiculous things that you're telling yourself. If you don't express it, then you're just blocking it within your body, and that has to do something. It's just going to fester. It's like blocking water. It's like stopping water from flowing. It will go stagnant, and really horrible, disgusting things will grow in it. And it's exactly the same with us. We're an energy field. And if you don't let that energy of emotion flow and process, then horrible things will grow. So it's really important to express it. And I often talk about, if you see a typical scene from a Middle Eastern funeral, for example, you will see people following the coffin, literally, especially the mothers, throwing themselves on the floor with grief and wailing, to me, that's just exactly what we need to be doing. If you feel it, if you feel that wave of grief coming in, then throw yourself on the floor, go with it, ride the wave. That's what we came here to do. Throw yourself on the floor and wail it out, because you're processing it. Of course, in a lot of cultures, especially in Europe as well, we're meant to keep a stiff upper lip at a funeral, and maybe it's acceptable to shed one tear, and it's all restricted, and this doesn't serve us at all, because then we're just holding it all in. So we do need to express that grief. If you don't, it will make you sick. So I'm a full supporter of, I'm a really big fan of crying. I've talked about it so many times, because if you think about the actual mechanism, the biological mechanism of crying, it's your body's natural mechanism to process the emotions. That's why we do cry. Ask yourself, why do we cry? Why does the body do that? Why do we feel like doing that? It's a natural process. It's a natural instinct. It's part of the miracle of our humanity. It's part of the miracle of our human body and how it amazingly functions, right? So honor that and let it out. Better out than in. I'm always saying that. Better out than in. So because there is the end of stuff. Now, it's not just people, of course, that are leaving the planet. But please remember that it's all been agreed on a soul level, and there's always growth to be found in the grief. And ironically, a lot of people, when you get really sensitive, when you raise your frequency and you get more sensitive energetically, a lot of people can actually feel their past loved ones much closer after death, which I think makes perfect sense, because when we're incarnated, we've got these limits to us, this skin that kind of creates some kind of, separation, perception of separation. And of course, after they've transitioned, that doesn't exist, their consciousness itself. And we can therefore tap into that and feel a lot closer to them. But this isn't just about people. Sorry, it's not just about people. This is about all sorts of things. People moving house, people are moving areas, people are leaving jobs. A lot of people are leaving jobs. They're not resonating with what they're being asked to do. Are you being asked to do something you're not resonating with anymore? Things are changing so much and so rapidly. It might have been your dream job a few years ago. It might have been your dream village a few years ago. It might have been your dream relationship a few years ago. Okay, but everyone's changing. You've got to listen to your heart. If you're not resonating anymore, you move on. And there's growth in that grief as well. There's growth in all kinds of grief and loss and everything else. But the thing is, though, if you don't honor your heart and honor your resonance, I want to say honor your resonance, and you don't flow with what's going, trust in the process of life. That's a fantastic affirmation for this month. Okay, so the month of October, our affirmation is, I trust in the process of life. Okay, I trust in the process of life and flow with it. Because that way, and have no expectations, just flow and just have this faith. Faith is like an inner knowing. It will carry you to miracles. Just know that you are being taken like a feather on the wind. You are being taken where you need to go. When you look at things from a higher level of consciousness and you have that much faith in the bigger picture, you can just chill, you can relax, because this resistance and this trying to control the situation, and this trying to control people outside of you, and this trying to change people, and this is so tiring, isn't it? Just stop it and flow. So what I was saying before about these two ways of, it's not so much not feeling. What I want to say is, when you get to a higher level of consciousness, you can actually detach yourself from a lot of the intensity of human emotion. You can start looking at humanity from a higher level of consciousness, from a different perspective, and have love and compassion. Your heart expands with love and compassion for the whole of humanity, and with love and compassion for yourself, always with love and compassion for yourself, right? It's got to start with you, because there's only you, and you are the creator of your own reality, right? So it has to start with love and compassion for yourself. But you can see things and feel a little bit detached from the intensity of the emotion. Okay? And you can actually love others and love situations, love the triggers, love the devil. We had a lot of that in previous card readings, love the things that are causing the chaos. That's what I want to say. Love the things that are causing the grief, I want to say. Love the things that are dying. Okay, the things that are causing the feeling of loss. Love them, okay, with this love and compassion, and you will find that you do not feel that intensity of the emotion. Now, what's also happening is we are multidimensional. And what's happening, people are talking about going from 3D to 5D. We are multidimensional beings. And what's going on is we are having multidimensional experiences. I know I am. Multidimensional experiences. So, 1 minute we are third dimensional humans with our human emotions of our loved ones and our relationships and our life and where we live and our job and the things we do. We have all these human emotions, and when we feel grief, we just want to cry it out, right? So we have to experience that. We have to honor that. It's not about forgetting that we're third dimensional beings. It's about remembering that we're multi-dimensional beings. So drop to your knees, have that cry, okay? Or stamp your feet, have that little paddy, that little tantrum, whatever it is. Express that frustration to yourself. You don't need to take it out on anyone else, do you? But do it with a higher level of awareness. Do it knowing that that is your human having a human experience. And that's what you came here to do. Then your fourth dimensional, emotional, mental body, that's where all the chaos is at the moment, is our emotions and our thoughts, agreed? Our beliefs. This is where all the chaos is at the moment. So just understand that you're an emotional body that needs to express those emotions. Also remember that you have a mental body that needs to keep looking for a belief and a thought that is going to create a higher frequency within you. We're always looking for a thought or a belief that is going to expand us and not contract us. Okay, I have lots of videos in the Lessons in Awakening on thoughts and mastering your thoughts, emotions, mastering your emotions, and all of that. Okay, so you want to check out all of them. And then you've got your fifth dimensional self who has this heart that I was talking about earlier on, that is just full of love and gratitude and just full of compassion for everything, because you understand what's going on. You understand that you're evolving, and you understand that you're a multi-dimensional being. So, you can go from 1 minute expressing that grief in your human experience. The next minute you could be walking in nature, just feeling nothing but love, peace, and harmony in your heart. That's okay. That doesn't make you selfish because you're not caring about the situation, and crying little eyes out doesn't make you inadequate or weak or anything else. That makes you human, which you are. That makes you a spiritual being who's learned to master their emotions. That's what we are. We're multidimensional beings, and we're living all of it. Okay, so no judgment. That's the biggest one, isn't it? No judgment. Don't judge yourself with whatever's going on, but you do need to feel your emotions. You need to feel them and feel into the intensity of them in order to process them. Because that's what we want to do. We want to process them. And then they will leave your energy field then. And then you will always feel lighter. That's why we always feel better. I mean, yes, immediately after a good cry, you might feel very tired, very exhausted. It's like any energy healing. Nearly all energy healing modalities, you will feel tired and emotional for a while afterwards. So that's fine. And then the next day you feel lighter. Okay? So it's like a self-healing. Crying is a self-healing technique, especially when you do it with that higher level of awareness. Okay, sorry, I've talked all that time just on the one card. So this is the end of lots of things going on. It can also be the end of a way of thinking. It can also be the end, it could be the death of the ego. So many times we cause resistance and friction and suffering in our own life because we're hanging on to some egoic trait. We're hanging on to something egoic, some identity. We're identifying with parts of our ego, and that's what's also washing away is our ego, and not having judgment for ourselves or others. So there's all sorts of this death card, energetically can relate to all sorts of things, but it is the end of certain things. And of course, we want there to be the end to certain things. There's certain things going on in the world, manipulation, control, and deceit and stuff like this. And we want them to end. So it's good in a way. I mean, it's always celebration with this card. As I said, I started off, the first thing I said, this card has the greatest capacity for transformation. We are on a fast track to raising the consciousness level of humanity. Okay, so I'm not surprised to see this card, but I want you to focus on the dawn in the background. This is a new dawn. It's a new way of living, a new way of being, a new way of giving. Okay, and also in tarot, horses are always positive movement forward. So I see it as really, really good. There's your decisions. These decisions come. The moon is your unconscious fears. Okay, so the way I look at this, we constantly have this decision. We constantly have a choice. We can choose to focus on the negative. We can choose to focus on the fear. We can choose to live in fear. We can choose to follow our fear-based lack and limitation beliefs. Or we can take the other path, and we can't see what's going to happen if we take the other path. But you know what? We can see what's happening in the path that we're in. And if we don't like it, just go to the other path, even if you can't see what's coming. Of course you can't see what's coming. That's why we're coming back to faith. Faith, it carries you to miracles, remember. But you can't see what's coming in. But where you are is either fearful, or it's not serving you, or you're not resonating. You're not enjoying it anymore. It's certainly not a comfort zone. So every minute of every day, with every choice that you make, you have a choice to go with the contracted, an idea, a thought, a belief that contracts you, or you can take a little challenge, a little leap of faith, I want to say. Take a little leap of faith and go with what expands you, okay? We've got the Empress. I love the Empress. She's coming up a lot lately because she's a reminder, Mother Earth's energies, grounding, sit on the grass, hug a tree. Well, as long as it hasn't got loads of ants all over it. I hugged a tree the other day and got covered in ants. So I was like, hey, come on. But you can sit on the grass, walk in nature. She's Mother Nature herself. She's creation. She is Mother Creation. Right? So she is reminding us that we're all creators. We are the creators of our own reality. And not only that, but we are at our best as humans when we are creating, when we are doing what we're good at, when we're doing what inspires us. Okay, when we're doing any kind of creativity, whether it be music or art or dancing or drawing, you know, or making YouTube videos, you know, whatever it is that excites you, you know, create it. Just create, whatever, for the fun of it. You know, it doesn't have to, you're doing it to raise your frequency. Okay? What you do with it after that, you just follow your open heart, see where it takes you. So I love this card because she's a reminder that we are the creators of our own reality, and that we do need to be creative. Of course, she's the pregnancy card as well. I mean, you know, there's nothing like, you know, creating a little human, you know, to show that you are the Empress and that you are the creator. But for those of you that isn't appropriate for, it's getting creative, you know. So maybe you should, you know, write that book, or maybe you should, you know, take that paint class, or maybe you should study whatever it is you want to study. Okay, it is about just enjoying your creativity. You know, it doesn't have to bring you in money. You know, it's about your frequency. It's about doing whatever keeps your frequency high. Your future lies in your frequency. Okay, so you can't afford not to do whatever it is. A lot of people say, oh, you know, it's expensive to do that. I haven't got time to do that. I need to be working, all of this. But your future lies in your frequency, not in your bank balance. So get dancing, I say, get dancing. Because that's what's needed. Whatever raises your frequency is what you need to do, because your future lies on that frequency. Okay, it lies in that frequency. Whatever frequency you are is the frequency of the reality you are creating. So you know, start doing whatever it is that raises your frequency. You need to do more of it. Okay, so let's see what else we've got. Okay, now we're coming back to this one. This is the retreat and relax and look after yourself, self-care. There's anxiety and worry in this card. So it's going to come up, anxiety and worry, because, you know, we've got all this going on and we're human and we're having a multi-dimensional experience. So our humans are going to feel worry and our humans are going to feel anxious. Lots of things to do about anxiety, lots of yoga postures, look them up, you know, different ways, different yoga postures, and lots of different, like, you know, qigong, things like that are fantastic for alleviating anxiety. But this is about self-care, looking after yourself, okay? The last card is we've got the Eight of Swords, and look how restricted she is. This is coming back to beliefs again. She's really restricted because she's stuck in her third dimensional beliefs of I can't afford it, I can't do it, I have no control over my life. You know, believing that things have to be a certain way. We create our own suffering from our own beliefs. If we believe that something has to be a certain way, and then it isn't, we've created our own suffering. Our own suffering is always caused by a belief that we're holding on to. So if you feel suffering at all this month, ask yourself, what is it I'm believing that's creating that suffering? Can I choose a belief, another belief? Can I choose a different belief? A belief that is going to expand me? I think that's what's coming up for this month. It doesn't seem a very nice one to end on, but I want to remind you of this one, okay? Because she's the one with the beliefs, okay? So each one of these negative beliefs, you can take these out and turn them upright just by asking yourself, is there a belief that I can choose that's going to make me feel better? And for me personally, I found that in looking at things from a bigger picture. That's why I'm such a big fan of Dolores Cannon and her work, and a lot of other people as well, because when you choose to look at it, it doesn't matter if it's true or not. It matters whether it expands you or contracts you. Okay, she's really expanded because she's busy being creative. And she knows that her future lies in her frequency. And she's very contracted because she's believing all these limiting beliefs. And she doesn't realize that she can choose other ones. But if you choose to look at things from a soul level, and you choose to believe that you've incarnated with the same souls again and again for the purpose of helping each other on your journey. And we do that very often through creating adversity for each other. Because then you learn through that adversity. You learn that the most important thing you can do is to love yourself. The most important thing you can do is to raise your frequency. If you want any help with learning your frequency, more free content, if you go to my website, link below, my first book, Heal Yourself to Happiness, is free to download from my website. And it's all about helping you raise your vibration, because that is so important for us at this time to do that. But if you, rather than feeling victimized and traumatized by what's going on outside of you, choose to believe on some level you chose it all, you planned it all. And why did you want to give yourself adversity? Because you want to evolve, and you know that you're going to evolve more readily through adversity. We grow through grief. It's as simple as that. We grow through grief. So look for the growth. Look for the growth in every situation this month. It's kind of really quite intense. We've got her right in the middle. She's like our savior this month. Okay, so I'm just going to remind you to be creative, do fun things, do whatever it takes to raise your frequency, because it's an intense month. And also look at everything from a higher level of consciousness. Okay, I want to homework. Should I give you homework for the month? Homework, checking out my lessons in awakening, obviously on YouTube. The ones about mastering your thoughts, the ones about mastering your emotions, the one on understanding triggers. Okay. Also, the one on forgiveness, because I think that's all connected. I think that's all connected. When you understand why you're triggered by certain people, and then you look at how you can forgive them, it helps you. Those videos have more information in them about how to look at it from a soul level. And then that grief turns into love and gratitude. Wow. Wow. Well, it is October 2021. What can I tell you? You know, so for my first cards for the month, I will be doing on Sunday my cards for the week, so that might break it down into more manageable chunks. So look out for that. So if you haven't already subscribed, please do, and please share and like and all those other YouTubey things. If you want to know more about my services and work that I do, check out my website below. So until the next video, lots of love to you all. Bye for now.